Garrett Sparks, do 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 do. Garrett Sparks, do 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 do. Garrett Sparks, do 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 do. Garrett Sparks. Garrett. Okay. Hi. Victory puppy. Land the parade. I have no idea what I'm doing. Gone to the races only. This team is ruining my life. Same jersey, same setup. You know the rules. Victory puppy boys. I miss you! What do you do when the Leafs don't win? Leafs win! 4-2 over the Buffalo Sabres! Buffalo Sabres fans, if I were you right off the top, you ought to be accepting cash, credit, and debit from Leafs fans, thanking you for that. I think I said it last time the Leafs played the Sabres. I don't think things are as bleak as Sabres fans make it out to be. I think Jeff Skinner's gonna be back. I think the team is only gonna get better, don't worry. But in the meantime, Leafs fans acting like they won the cup because they finally played well. It's no cup, but I'll settle for this. Mwah! Nope, second half of a back-to-back. I earned this. Oh, do they need that? Oh, do they need every aspect of that win. Holy crap. Man, this is the tail end of my 12th season making videos about the Leafs after every Leafs game. And that is about as badly needed a Leafs victory as I've experienced. And if you're saying to yourself 12 years, that's pathetic, I know. Well, remember, for the first 9, the games weren't as high stake because they were bad. This win, after the recent run they've been on, holy smokes. It had everything. The Leafs dominated the shot count, they started on time, they came back, they held the lead, Garrett Sparks won a game, and they won the second half of a back-to-back. Let's talk about that in the most voice-conserving way possible. Because tomorrow and Friday, I'm going to be on Sportsnet 590 The Fan from 3 to 4. That's the Leafs Hour of Good Show with Ben Ennis. I don't think this is allowed. All right, first 5 minutes of the game, the Leafs get some shots. The Leafs look good. Oh, they almost scored. The next 5 minutes, I get in. It was bound to happen. The Leafs, after miserable game, decided they were going to take out their bad mood on the Buffalo Sabres. Still 5 minutes to go in the first period. The Leafs are out shooting the Sabres 18-5. So naturally, the Sabres score first. Casey Middlestat on the power play from an awful angle makes it 1-0 Sabres. I cannot repeat the things I shouted at the television. The CRTC, that's like the FCC but Canadian, would have been quite upset. The only clean thing I said was, you know how there's styles of goaltending? There's stand-up, there's butterfly, and I shouted that Garrett Sparks was car dealership. Looking like wacky, waving, inflatable arm flailing tube man. And you knew. You just knew. And I feel a little bit bad for Garrett Sparks in this case, because a lot of people are like, oh, it's because of him. No. This was all predetermined before the game. Oh, you don't know who I'm talking about? They don't know who I'm talking about. Come on, you know who I mean. First name hockey, last name God! He said, you are never allowed to have wonderful things. You must suffer in misery and never win a championship. Wait, I aimed at the Buffalo Sabres, right? I believe you hit the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ooh, hockey, me damn it. And the Leafs, in a period where they outshot the Sabres 19-7 at intermission, down 1-0. Look at Austin Matthews! Look at Austin Matthews! Ice time in the first period! Played 4 minutes and 37 seconds! Zach Hyman played almost a full minute more! He was in the box twice! Nothing against Hyman, but damn! Mike, come on! Listen, if you think you're getting fired, just quit! Don't let him have the satisfaction! What are you putting us through this for? There is no excuse for that. Inexcusable. That stinks, is what we all said. And I mean, playing Austin Matthews less than 5 minutes in any given period is stupid. Call it what it is. You can walk right up to Mike Babcock and be like, hey Mike, that's stupid. But what's amazing, he'd be like, no, actually it is. Actually, we outshot them 19-7. Maybe I know what I'm talking about. I'm about to scream. But it's okay, the second period is a new period, let's go. On his first shift of the second Andreas Johnson throws it in front. It goes off of Matthews skating in. And get this. By the end of the game, he had played 19.5 minutes, only behind Tavares and Marner. What kind of galaxy brain chess game is this man playing? But whatever, it's okay, it's great, the game's tied. And once again, the Leafs just kicked the Sabres up and down the ice, outshot 19-8. And of those 19 shots, actually if you lump them in with the 19 from the previous period, of those 38 shots, none of them went in. At least none of those shots were actual shots. Jansson's was a centering pass that went off of Matthews skating in. William Nylander wheels into the slot, loads up a shot, takes the shot, it hits the post, making it not a shot anymore. It hits John Tavares, it hits Rasmus Ristolainen, goes off of John Tavares' stick again, and into the net. Because stats! And it's 2-1 Leafs heading into the third. The line on the ice at the time, I don't know what goofy circumstances made this happen, but it happened. Tavares, Nylander, Matthews? What is back? Oh, I forgot it's legal. Oh, wait a second. They were in Buffalo. Mike, what are you doing? It went in. I don't care. I don't care. You know what, though? You gotta watch the long clip of this goal. On the highlights, they're probably just gonna show Willie wheeling into the slot, which is great for Willie, and taking the shot and pinging around. This play starts in the corner. Matthews flips the puck to Willie behind the net. Willie bats it out in midair and takes it with him like a robot, like a Klingon. I know a Borg is closer to a robot. Shut up. Kapanen has looked so good since coming back. He doesn't look like he's missed a step. Willie needs to step it up just another notch to stay with Austin. Holy smokes, did he in this game. All right. One more period. What do you got for us in this one, Mike? Well, he throws out what has clearly become the top line in Tavares, Hyman, and Marner. Puck is dumped in. Hyman. Tage Thompson comes in. He tries to clear it, but Marner. But he stops the puck from leaving the Sabres zone, but Tage Thompson gets it back. Tavares better not miss. And he gets it and dishes it between the legs. JT playing setup man for Mitch Marner for a change. Scores. For a playmaker, Marner has 25 goals on the season, and for a goal scorer, John Tavares has 40 assists on the season. Not getting a point on this play is Zach Hyman, who was part of the play. He was part of the hustle. And if you look at this, it might actually be his goal. You can't really tell from this angle. It might have gone off his skate. I think it might have gone off his stick. But there's no eye in team or Hyman, so it's 3-1 Leafs. Hyman, Tavares, Marner, none of them have eyes. I think they just all became captains. So now, you're Garrett Sparks. You're on the road in Buffalo, second half of a back-to-back. Leafs are probably tired. There's some travel involved. Every game you play is a hockey Twitter civil war, and one side is gaining ground fast, and it's not the side you're on. And you make some public comments about how the team doesn't play with enough emotion. And you're in net for the third period of the Leafs' first good game, dominant game, in at least 2 weeks. And all you have to do is shut her down, despite the fact that you've only faced like a dozen shots, no whole pressure. And sure enough, just over 5 minutes later, Sabatka in the corner, I just like saying his name, Sabatka, throws it out to Nylander. Wait, before I even had a chance to see that it was the wrong Nylander, wait, that's the not as good Nylander? In the words of John Bartlett, oh my stars. Alex Nylander, ping, with the one-time bomb. No one is stopping that. The Sabres are within one again. So once again, you're Garrett Sparks. All those things I mentioned before, except for your team had a 2-goal lead, and now all of a sudden it's a 1-goal lead. This is gonna sound weird. I think Garrett Sparks needed to play in a game like this. In a game where the Leafs dominated? Well, yeah, I'm sure that didn't hurt. But I mean a game where he had to pull it off. There was no other option. Because during the first period of this game, I'm texting people, if the Leafs lose this game, Sparks should not play another game this season. And I, for at least half the season, tried to be supportive. Imagine what other people are saying. And I couldn't help but be reminded of Game 6 of the Calder Cup final. The Calder Cup is in the building, and the Texas Stars light Sparks up. And every person in the building is, ooh. Game 7, Sparks stops 29 out of 30 shots. And he was never a calming presence down there. In the first round, I watched him stop a puck gloveless because he's full send, a little bit too full send. On the first goal, full send, way too much. But for the most part in this game, just cooled it a little bit. Maybe he was playing with some of that emotion he was talking about. This was a building block game that was desperately needed by the Leafs and also Garrett Sparks. Because from that Alex Nylander bomb on, to quote Mike Babcock, steady on the rudder. Leafs outshot in the third period 8-9, not that that mattered. 9 shots was actually the most the Sabres had in one period. Zach Hyman battling to get the empty netter. He leads the league with 6 now. And the Leafs win the game. And there were some tense moments, right? Austin Matthews taking the puck to the face. Oh my goodness, is he okay? Janssen taking a big hit. Some Sabres fans might get on Kasperi Kapanen for getting into a tussle with Rasmus Dahlin, and I guess I get it. He's a rookie. Man, Kapanen is just coming off a concussion in a contract year, heading into the playoffs. He does not want you touching him, especially around the head area, which Dahlin was. Oh, and thank goodness the Leafs were winning at this point in the game, because I was able to laugh. Bogosian just takes Hyman's stick out of his hand, but Hyman is just such a by-the-book player. He's so good at positioning. He just goes to the front of the net, and he gets past the puck, and he's got no stick. Can you imagine if there were 5 seconds left and the Leafs are down 1? What do? You can't do a distinct kicking motion? Do you just drop to your knee and knee it? Is that allowed? That was hysterical. And by the way, it's why coaches love Zach Hyman. Some people talk about his skills and how he doesn't have the finish of other players. Well, no. Up against John Tavares and Zach Hyman and Austin Matthews, William Nylander, no. But his positioning, flawless. Even when he doesn't have a stick. The Leafs outshoot the Sabres 46-24. Every single Leaf had at least one shot in this game, and the Leafs eke out a 4-2 win. You know, it's funny, Babcock got himself into some hot water a few days ago by talking about the Predators and, well, they don't have to overplay players because they have depth. In this game, Nick Patan, who had a little bit of power play time, played just under 8 minutes. Connor Brown, who played a little bit of PK time, had just under 8 minutes. And Trevor Moore, who had neither special team, played under 6. Igor Ozhiganov, 8 minutes 42 seconds, and somehow was the only minus on the Leafs. Oof. Justin Hall, 7 minutes 43 seconds. Oh. Marner, over 22 minutes. But listen, they win on the second half of a back-to-back on a Wednesday night. Huge. You get 2 full nights off before you get the Rangers on Saturday. I know some guys are banged up. I know some guys are still getting over colds and flus. Go home, rest up, get some home cooking, maybe have a few nice practices. Maybe some guys come back in the lineup. Maybe Travis Dermott comes back. Is Callie Rosen gonna be good to go? And remember, you're the Leafs. If you are the team that we know you are, rather than the team that's been around for the past 2 weeks for some reason, you should beat the Rangers on home ice on Saturday night. Unless Georgiev goes bonkers again. Monday, at home again, the Panthers. Wednesday, on the road, the Flyers. Man. Saturday, on the road again, Ottawa. Dude! Monday, April 1st, they gotta go back on the road to play the Islanders. Anyway, that's thinking too far ahead. I know for the past few games we've been like, can you just make the playoffs? The Bruins are still within reach. Home ice is still within reach. If the Leafs just play like the Leafs, which is a compliment these days, by the way, they'll put themselves in a position to do that. Questions. Rasmus Sandin set the new Toronto Marlies record for an assist streak by a defenseman with the assist on the OT game winner tonight. Yes, actually a little bit more context here. Rasmus Sandin got the secondary assist on Adam Brooks' OT goal tonight in Bridgeport. This is Sandin's 12th point in 8 straight games, which is a new Marlies franchise record for longest point streak by a defenseman. Also, Jeremy Bracco is the first Toronto Marlies player to get to the 70-point marker since TJ Brennan in the 13-14 season, that's with 25 goals and 72 points, and only the second Marley to ever hit 70 points in the 76-game season and 4th player overall. Now listen, I think the Leafs are doing a fantastic job developing those 2 players. They should not call them up out of desperation, but let's say they go deep into the playoffs, some stuff happens. Would I hesitate to put them in an NHL game? Absolutely not. Thanks for bringing that up, Mark. The kids are all right. Are we allowed to stop panicking now? Oh, Sam. We've always been allowed to stop panicking. We just do because we care. And we're damaged. What do you think of beans? They're fine! Hi, Steve. I hope you had a good night? Yeah. Thanks for checking in. I don't know if you could tell from the last video or from the most recent podcast, which had audio issues. I've been in a right foul mood. The Leafs were losing. That's part of it. And some people weren't getting the books that they ordered, which was a big part of it. I explain in depth what's going on the most recent podcast. It's early on in the show. But the news is basically the cavalry has arrived. A huge shipment of books was just delivered to the publisher, and it is going everywhere. And that makes me happy. And the Leafs winning makes me happy. So right now, I'm happy. Thanks for asking. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you liked this video. Click subscribe. If you really liked it, tell all your friends. They can calm down now. But they don't have to.